it is the fixture between Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. The moment you hear Atletico Madrid, you know that we are in for a very defensive game. But unfortunately, this wasn't a defensive game. This was what you will call a thriller. Like the number of goals scored in this fixture with both the home and the away fixture. I mean, it was just amazing. But let's hear what our pundits have to say concerning this as well. How did you see the game? Atletico versus Dortmund.
Atletico. Is it Atletico answer for them? A home side answer. No matter the team you they come, they worry you. But if what you do, I know the Bab say, if the manner win for them at home, they go away be in the break.
Okay.
Yeah, against is it Juventus? Last 2, last 3, last 4 seasons, they played against Juventus, scored Juventus 2-0 at Spain, went to Italy and lost 3-0. Cristiano Ronaldo giving us a hat trick. So Atletico won at Spain 2-1. And still it was a game. Because winning Dortmund 2-1 this season, the way Dortmund 2 they perform you still get a lot of work to do to qualify. Going to Germany answer, you going to Germany, be easy give you. If you be Spanish team, you be England team, you go Germany. They don't worry you. So I knew Dortmund will have their way and so through to the semi-finals.
Right. So
I think that Atletico could have done a lot more in the first leg. Like we've been saying from the start of the show. The game is always 2 legs. You play in your home, then you go and play away. You always have the advantage in your own home. Especially now that away goals don't count as double. Get it? So no matter how the team plays, the away team plays in your home, no matter the number of goals they score, it will count as single goals. In the aggregate in the long run. So teams should be able to go all out to play in their own home. And not try to manage games and not try to make the away teams get less goals.
But I believe that is something we saw with this quarterfinals, especially because now that the away goal has been taken, we saw a lot of goals. A lot of goals, especially in this Atletico fixture what I spoke about just a moment earlier. We had about 3 goals in the first leg and then 6 goals in the second leg. That's like 9 goals in the 2 fixtures, which is really serious.
Yes, that is true. So the point that I am trying to make is that Atletico could have done more in their home fixture. They had several chances that they could have stretched their margin. Because the 2-1 margin is a very slim margin. It's just a 1 goal difference. They could have stretched the margin, and that would have helped them in the subsequent.
So more to talk about Atletico. Let's take this quick break. When we come back, we do that. Right, so just before we left off, we were looking at the match between Dortmund and Atletico Madrid, and you made a very good point in that, Atletico are able to win their matches at home, but then when they go away, then they go and lose there. Now, you guys are Barcelona fans, so I will expect a very good reaction on this one. Barcelona have also suffered similar fate in previous seasons. We saw that against Roma, we saw that against PSG. What do you think really causes this?
I think that, like we have explained, it's more difficult to play, away. Because every team is hyped up in their own home. It's a whole different kind of game. I used to play in the Katanga whole team. And when you play against Conti, it's a whole different. Even though we are not playing in anybody's home grounds, it's like a common playground. For the whole school. But then the kind of energy that the fans give, the morale and the kind of spirit in the game is very different from when you play against another. So imagine if Conti had a home pitch and Katanga had a home pitch, and Katanga is playing in Conti's home or vice versa. You can say the same in UCC. If maybe Casford is playing against ATL's home. So it's like that in the Champions League. It's like that in all other leagues. It's very easy to play in your home. So I think that teams prefer to play their away fixture before they play home. Barcelona, as a Barcelona fan, I always like that we play away first before we play the home. Also because of
some of these
things seen in the past. Winning with a wide margin in the home and then losing it in the away fixture. You get it. So I think that is why I am stressing that Atletico and teams like Arsenal should have done better in their first matches, so that it would have been easier for them in the second leg.
Right. So from his narrative, you could tell that the home fans really play a big role, a major role, and that is the kind of support that you have when you are playing in the Dortmund home. This is a very, how do you say it, chaotic, crazy fan base that a lot of the time they suffer suspensions in the course of the season. As you are very much aware, Bayern Munich fans suffered such, how do you call it, a suspension this season, and so it tells you how much of a big deal when they are playing at home. The fans are always an X factor. But let's look at another side of the story where Atletico won at home, yes, but when they came to the game in at Dortmund at the Signal Iduna, the Dortmund team quickly took up a 2-0 lead, and Atletico came back into the game and equalized the game before later Dortmund was able to come up with those 2 goals. Talk of mentality into the game and the young Dortmund side, as well as the inexperience of their coach in the Champions League. What do you think of such a win?
Okay, like we earlier said, when you are playing at your home first, you have you have the atmosphere, you have every right of you winning the game. You see, but when you manage to win with a slim or a close margin like that, when you go to the opponent's home, you try to, say no, now still now you get a chance to qualify. So you still try to play to look for a win in that game.
Okay.
Because it's still not over yet. It's just a 2-1 win. If they score you 1-0 at Germany, still it's not yet done. So you have to go there and make sure you still play and score them there. So that's what actually they did. But your home is your home. You have the fans at your back. You are focused more. Your teams, like, everything shows that you have the upper hand of moving from this side to the semi-finals. And that helped Dortmund a lot. That is actually what made Dortmund qualified to the semi-finals.
Right. So in the fixture, you could see that Dortmund was very poised. The morale was sick, and I mean the morale. I mean the fans behind the players. It was such an atmosphere to play in, and they managed to progress. Now, talk about the key players who really impacted the game. What would you have to say?
Yes, I think that a player like Griezmann has been in top form. In top form this season. He seems to really perform well in Atletico colours and even in French colours. It didn't turn out so well for him in Barcelona. But he seems to always know how to, turn his game up in Atletico colours and in French colours. And this season has not been different from the previous seasons. You get it? So this is one player that we all were looking. We're looking to see the best of going into this fixture, and he actually did his best in the first leg and even in the second leg. You get it. But I think that also the reason why we are stressing on the home fixtures is because you can consider the match between Arsenal and Bayern Munich.
Exactly.
Arsenal dominated in their home, but it was a whole different game in the Allianz Arena. It's where Bayern dominated. You can say the same of the Atletico and Dortmund match. Atletico dominated the game. In the Wanda Metropolitano, but it was a whole different game in the Signal Iduna. You get it. So I think the players turned up in their respective homes. You get it. And in the Dortmund side, you have players like Adeyemi, brandt,
Hala coming on to score the late goal in the first leg.
Score in the first leg. These players are players who can actually do damage on their day. You get it. So yes, I think that these players did their best. But in the end, Dortmund was able to go.
So again, congratulations to Dortmund. Now you have two German side actually progressing to the next stage of the competition, and at this level, then you will expect that next season they will have some extra slots when it comes to qualification for the Champions League. The two how would you say it? English sides going out also means a lot, because now you have a lesser slot for the Champions League, and those are things that we'll be talking about later in the show. But for now, let's end this discussion here. We'll be looking at the next segment of the show, where we'll bring you the fixture between Barcelona and PSG. And for that one, I tell you, my pundits here are very well poised for that. So let's take a quick break, and when we return, we bring you a review of that match as well.